This is the ultimate in irresponsible influencing. And once I open your eyes, you will see it nonstop. Hey everyone, I'm Abbey Sharp. Welcome to Abby's Kitchen. As you guys know, I'm a no BS dietitian who's devoted her career to dismantling problematic wellness content online. After over a decade of this work, I have seen everything from calling a bowl of cereal a carb load for bulking to creating fear-mongering PSAs about how much sugar is in your festive holiday coffee drink. And all of this overt diet culture content obviously makes me mad.
Are you feeling mad?
But what possibly makes me even more mad is when I see influencers trying to sneakily sell diet culture rebranded as wellness, food freedom, or intuitive eating, and specifically targeting folks with EDs. This wellness culture can be so seductive for those who have been burned by explicit diet culture, know they need to escape it, but are still aroused by the fantasy of a socially desirable body and all the perks that come along with it. Now, quick heads up that I will be talking about EDs and sharing restrictive content and explicit images of thin bodies here. I'll also be using specific creators' content as examples. And as irresponsible and dangerous as this specific breed of wellness culture content can be, this is not meant to shame or bully these creators. I mean, ultimately, they are victims of diet culture too. But if they're gonna put this out into the world, I feel the need to help you unpack it in a kind, supportive space.
Okay, super quick here, folks. I really want to talk about my sponsor today, Homoglow. Ask my husband. I am a super organized person. I love a good to-do list and plan, but I also tend to be a physically messy person. And this is quite the dilemma for me because I have a really hard time feeling organized and willing to get things done when everything around me is a mess. 2024 is set up to be the biggest and busiest of my career, so I know that I really need to lean on as many supports as I can, and since cleaning is apparently not one of my strong suits, I have been so grateful for Homoglow. So Homoglow is a 5-star cleaning service with super affordable prices, way cheaper than any of the cleaning services that we've paid for in the past, and definitely worth it for my mental health and marriage. But the way it works is you go to Homoglow's website to choose the time and day that you're looking for and the duration of your cleaning, and you'll see all of their available cleaners along with their background checks, photos, and reviews. So if you have someone that you've worked with before, you can rebook that same person. And you can schedule it for that week or like a month from now if you want to rebook your cleanings on a regular basis. You can also sign up for their Forever Clean membership, which saves you about $30 an hour on all future cleanings or unlimited cleanings for $19 an hour, all of which are backed by their happiness guarantee. And the cleaners are really incentivized to do a good job because 100% of the cleaning tips and fees go directly to them. I am definitely feeling overwhelmed about the next few months ahead, so this is one huge task off of my plate, and it really allows me to focus on all the exciting things that I've got in store for you. This service is only available in the United States, but definitely go to homoglow.com/Abbey Sharp or scan the QR code on screen to get your first cleaning for only $19.
So let's dive in with the bride that broke the internet for her alleged almond mom wedding, aka Sam from the Fit Fatel. So I did a whole video on this controversial wedding situation right here, but content creators like Sam tend to build their following with these inspirational health transformation stories, before and after images of them when they were inflamed and unhappy, and then sell a bunch of meal plans and coaching sessions to teach you how you can do it too, despite having zero legitimate qualifications to do so. And a lot of these accounts have a pinned video that looks sort of like this.
Here is how I completely changed my life through 80-20 eating and how you can do the same. I was suffering from chronic bloating, severe adult acne, extreme inflammation, anxiety, and mood swings, all resulting in low energy, feeling lethargic, irregular sleep patterns, and weight gain. I had no idea what foods worked for my body, would go from yo-yo diet to the next, and was unable to listen to my hunger cues because I was constantly riding a sugar roller coaster. It was impacting my productivity at work, my relationships at home, and my daily happiness. awareness. Today, I have balanced my blood sugar, cleared my skin, lowered inflammation, and regulated my mood and anxiety, all through 80-20 eating, where 80% of the foods I eat are in their natural state and the other 20% is really whatever I want them to be. Through that process, I also learned what I was intolerant to and worked to cut out the foods that were causing so much of my inflammation and chronic gut issues. 5 years ago, the idea that I could have a healthy relationship with food and eat to feel good seemed so different than my norm, almost impossible. I wish at the time that I would have had someone help guide me through the process of discovering what foods worked for my body so that it could have taken me weeks, not years. That's why I created my 4-week meal plan program where you too can explore my take on 80-20 eating, giving your body the chance to see what lowering inflammation, eating whole foods, and managing your sugar intake feels like.
You get the gist. It follows a very specific and very effective formula, particularly attracting folks with complicated histories with food. Basically, girl is constantly bloated, inflamed, not comfortable in her own body, starts eating real food, or in Sam's case specifically, the 80-20 way of eating, which is a lifestyle apparently, not a diet, because remember, diets are a dirty word. Suddenly, hair is longer, skin is clearer, she loses 20 pounds, and simultaneously improves her relationship with food. Interestingly, this carefully compiled reel comes with a countless stream of body checks and ends in a strong sales pitch for her one-on-one coaching. And you know what? Maybe her coaching sessions are great. Maybe her meal plans are great. But it's confusing for a lot of folks to see countless references to mindful eating, intuitive eating, and fostering a healthy relationship with food, while simultaneously sharing tips on how to distract yourself from cravings, how to achieve a disciplined mentality, and non-stop references to a very thin body. I don't know who needs to hear this, but intuitive eating is not a set of rules dictating that you can only eat clean foods 80% of the time and only allow yourself whatever you want to eat the other 20%. When one has truly achieved food freedom, there is no dichotomizing food as clean or junk. There isn't an emphasis on needing to distract yourself from your cravings or true needs. And most importantly, the focus is never on changing your body with non-stop, unapologetic body checks and before and after body shots. This content is not about intuitive eating or self-care. It's about selling a body that is achieved through discipline and control. And there's a real risk that vulnerable populations exchange one ED, like binge eating or anorexia, for another, like orthorexia, that focuses on clean eating. But let's take a look at another example that I've recently featured on this channel, Paige Shea. So first of all, we are checking all the boxes on the red flag body checks. Yeah, our girl Paige definitely understood that assignment. But another common tactic is talking a lot about her former diets that never yielded any results. Paige talks about how she did the keto animal diet and also used to be on a strict calorie restricted diet. But it was always so miserable that she would end up just needing to have a cheat day because she felt so deprived.
I deserve to have a personal pan pizza from Pizza Hut. The biggest problem here is the mindset around this whole thing, because if you feel like you are so deprived in your current diet that you have to have a cheat meal every weekend.
And then she paints this in opposition to her so-called non-restrictive fruit-based diet featuring 8 to 12 pounds of food a day. The whole sales pitch here is that you don't have to calorie count and you never need to worry about your weight again, because with her diet, you achieve the mental freedom of eating in abundance. Again, Paige appeals to folks who have been burned by diet culture, who have complicated histories with food, who are seeking food freedom, but who are still holding on to this hope of looking like this. You might not be restricted by volume, but allowing yourself a choice of just watermelon, bananas, mango, or potatoes in the quest of physique results is not mental freedom or abundance. But here's another one. A fasting coach who uses intuitive eating hashtags in her videos, the obligatory body checks, and the before and after story reel that points out how fat and miserable she was before she took on the diet she now sells. It's like, you gotta make sure it's really clear to everyone that life was so terrible when you were larger, with a big struggle bus sigh. Hate me. No, but seriously, while I appreciate that Emma does often say, if you have an ED, fasting isn't for you, this to me is kind of just like lip service when you're making claims like this.
Fasting is one of the most powerful ways to improve your health, heal your relationship with food, and prevent obesity-related diseases.
Fasting is one of the fastest ways to heal your relationship with food. Please show me the data in the Journal of Eating Disorders that suggests that this is the fastest way to heal your relationship with food.
It's like waiting for Christmas times 1,000.
And if you are seeking out a diet that will heal your relationship with food, there is a good chance that you have a problematic relationship with food, likely disordered eating tendencies, and possibly even an undiagnosed or diagnosed eating disorder. And the rest of this account furthers this disconnect in a way that cons vulnerable populations into a potentially extreme diet. On the one hand, Emma's opening up about her experiences with binge eating and how intuitive eating became her superpower. And then the next, she's telling people how to lose 15 pounds in a month and pointing out which types of lip chap will break your fast. And to all the people she's talking to who are currently in the throes of binge eating, which may or may not be an actual clinical ED, she gives this advice.
And you need to embrace the discomfort. You're a big girl or boy, and you need to start to get comfortable with feeling uncomfortable if you're ever going to reach your goals.
That is potentially really damning advice for someone with a complicated relationship with food, especially in the context of a hyper unintuitive diet, like, I don't know, not eating more than once a day or even for several days at a time. We know that one of the greatest predictors of a binge is restriction. And this is actually why, for some people, fasting can actually result in weight gain. Because if you feel deprived, you're gonna go hog wild and put yourself in a potential surplus really fast. Now, if I were to give the benefit of the doubt to the creators I just discussed, I might say that perhaps they don't realize the pull that they have with the past recovering or active ED population when they promise food freedom or intuitive eating and a very thin body. But this creator really took it to the next level.
What I did to get my period back and shape my body. I stopped seeing food as good or bad. Stop all the stress and guilt associated with food, but I eat right. I stop overtraining, and all combined allow me to recover from binge eating, shape my body the weight I want, and balance my hormones as natural consequences of taking good care of my body. This led to period back, and I did. All my clients did, so you can. Please, my dear, do not take it light. It's a serious issue with long-term, non-reversible consequences.
Okay, but this one just really made me mad. This creator wrote the Bible on promising a specific body shape to people with active EDs. Here we get a whole page of minimally closed body shots, some obligatory before and after testimonials, and a lot of explicit discussion on eating disorder recovery. This is literally the definition of ED catfishing. You rope them in with a hypertoned thin body and gaslight them into convincing themselves that this is a recovery safe place with a bunch of inspirational quotes. I mean, it's a pretty big red flag when Instagram has to censor some of the images of the creator's body because they go against community guidelines. And this goes further than a problematic social media page. This creator's website brings you to a sales page where she promotes one-on-one coaching calls to heal your active binge eating disorder and also to help you achieve the body shape you desire. Active ED recovery and intentional weight loss diets are generally contraindicated. Like, it takes a very, very careful, skillful professional team to even consider weight loss with the risk of relapse. Never mind a young girl with zero nutrition or counseling qualifications. Now, there are a few really important takeaways that I want to leave you guys with right here. First of all, for the haters, I'm not skinny shaming or gatekeeping intuitive eating. Intuitive eaters come in all different sizes and shapes, and achieving food freedom will definitely look different to different people. I'm also not suggesting that weight loss can't or shouldn't happen when you've achieved food freedom or eating intuitively. These things coexist all the time. But the intention behind food freedom is body respect. It's not control through a new set of food rules that looks different than the last. Changing your body, especially to an extreme level of thinness, is not the goal. And folks with complicated histories with food and their body are particularly vulnerable to the draw of the promise of weight loss without dieting. They're also at very high risk of transferring one ED, like binge eating or anorexia, for another, like orthorexia. The restriction or food rules may look different or feel different than the last one, but the underlying mental illness is not healed. So the next time a content creator tries to sell you a program or a movement, or even just his or her brand claiming that it's grounded in intuitive eating, I want you to look for the telltale red flag signs. The body check, the before and after narrative, the promise of extreme thinness with a non-diet diet in the name of wellness, gut health, or food freedom. Because I promise you, once you see it, it's probably all you will see. But I would love to hear your thoughts on content like this. A reminder to please be kind in the comments. This is really not meant to bully or harass anyone, just to inform and warn of the dangers of pervasive wellness culture content like this. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to give it the thumbs up, leave me a comment below, and I will definitely see you guys next time on Abby's Kitchen. Bye!